All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants.
Let's go, folks. Mike, 58, right there. Come on, dude!
Now a first-time 1,000-yard rusher from a season ago, it's Derrick Henry. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Play action. Now it's Allen. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An early test. 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
They run with Adrian Peterson, the second active leading rusher in the NFL. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, it's Henry. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Derrick Henry, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Giants are going to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And that makes the score 7-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready. Blue ready. Check 55. Mike. You don't want nothing, baby. You don't want nothing.
They'll run with a former Viking, Jerick McKinnon. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Ready. White 25. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, y'all.
2nd down, McKinnon. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd. From From the gun, Winston. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. 31 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far. And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On the counter, it's Henry. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
At their own 25-yard line.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Hey, check.
Jameis to throw it. Gonna look deep for Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Working out of the gun, Winston. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken around the 12. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. But you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's Allen. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. David Njoku. His first touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. Gano the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
And out now come the Vikings. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Quick hitter here, it's complete. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. To throw, Winston. And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The New York set to take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1 play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 17-0 our score after 1. Ready to roll for the 2nd quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up.
57. Me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Here we go.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
We got 3. We got 3, fellas. We got 3.
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
And now out comes Minnesota. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
On second down now, McKinnon. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This is taken at the 18. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. But you talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Allen now throwing again. Got a man. It's Brashad Perriman. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. On first down, Allen. This will be caught inside the 10. 12 more yards there and another first down.
First and goal at the 8-yard line.
Right there, 19. Right there, 54. Hey, home. Let him go.
And again, it's Allen. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. From 8 yards out, and the Giants add on to their lead.
Boy, that route is really tough to cover because if they're running it correctly, you think it's really going to be a slant.
Yeah, well, we talk all the time about how it's tough to execute offensively, but you're saying, don't forget, it's tough to cover for the defense, too.
Yeah, the number one thing that you're taught is to not get caught inside or get beat inside. So you guard that a little bit more. So that gives you a little bit more space to operate outside if you start your move initially inside if you're a receiver.
Extra point try good by Gano. And the route is on here in this first half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Khalil Mack racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Winston. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Khalil Mack, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Here's Ryan Allen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And taken right at the 35. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape, 1st and 10. And the Giants ready to come out now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
How about that, partner? That's a gutsy run, a physical run, an explosive run, and he's inside the 10-yard line now. I don't know if you hand it to him again on this play, but make the defense think that you will, and maybe you have some options off of it.
Allen gonna throw, and he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. From 10 yards out, and the Giants just continue to pour it on. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Fofo's the Mike. Mike's Fofo. Hey, watch the slant.
Here's Winston. And Wilson has it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one good for 24 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ready. Blue lady. Mike 37. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
On 1st down now, run with McKinnon. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. From just shy of midfield, Winston, and incomplete. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Yeah, boy, that hole closed quickly, and I don't think McKinnon got there. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Ryan Allen now. He'll boot it away from about his 35.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
New York set to take the field. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. To throw, it's Allen. Able to shake him off. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. After the penalty, it's Henry. He finds an opening past the 40. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Tackles, tackles. Rush in, rush in, rush in. Wait. Shift. Mike 55. Blue down. Flip it. Check.
Final play of the half here, Winston. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First down, Winston. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
I got you, son. Check 37.
Winston now. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Right there. Down 80. Right there, 54 Mike.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Motion.
Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Allen. Open man is Gordon, complete. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
A first down carry for Henry. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
58. Smooth. Mike, 58.
On 2nd and 2, Allen. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there, first down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. First down, here's a run with Peterson. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
A gain of 13. It's a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he
will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Derrick Henry, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Giants have got it on cruise control. Gano the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Ready? Blue ready. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Let's go.
The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Follow. You can choose the mic. Watch Mike. It's been long. That's it. Hey, Mike 52. Mike 52. Not today, you aren't. Not today. Mike 52.
Winston. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 23 yards the pickup there.
First down, Minnesota.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10.
Mike 55, Mike 55, Mike 55.
Here's Winston. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Here I come. Here I come.
The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 2nd and 11 now. Winston. That's caught. It's the rookie Deebo Samuel. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Winston now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10.
Wait. Let's go.
On 1st down, McKinnon. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Call it a gain of 14 for the 2nd play in a row. Defensively, with this lead in the 4th quarter, I guess you can allow a run of that magnitude.
You're right about that, but really the focus has got to be don't fall in love with the idea that you're getting big runs now. You're right. They're actually being allowed. They've got to think really hard about getting some chunk plays through the air, too.
On 1st down, McKinnon again. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They come out here in the eye. On 2nd down, Davis. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
Black 25 behind. 55. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school.
They'll try to punch it in with Davis. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
No gain on the play. Leads to 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
Hey, let's get this. Watch the safety creep. Hey, 5 on the 50. Let's go.
Another try for Davis. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Mike Davis. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Hey, round 80. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Here we go, D.
And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. The Giants on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Allen off the play fake. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. And the Giants send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Come on, baby. Come on, let's go.
To throw is Winston. And Brake has it over the middle. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Jameis now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Throwing, Winston. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On the toss, it's McKinnon. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Check 3, check 3. Hey, let's get him converted.
Winston. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. Only 2 there on the dump-off. It's third down.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Vikings on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 8.
5 on 50. 5 on 50. I got you. I got you. 42's Mike. 42's Mike. Mike 42. Mike 42. Ready to go.
From the gun, Winston. And that will be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Winston to throw for it on 4th. He's going to loft one deep left. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Give him 32 yards as we inch our way to the 2-minute warning. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Winston. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Get ready. Get ready.
At their own 19-yard line.
Mike 319. Mike 54. Hey, tight.
They begin with Henry. He's got a first down and more past the 30. And all the way down to the 41-yard line. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. Give them maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
Alert! Go 58 to the mic. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long... Let's go.
Again, Peterson. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Peterson running right. And Peterson, what happened? He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
He's going to let it fly. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Aqib Talib.
Right there. Yeah, right there. 54 Mike. Three buzz. Look out.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Giants, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.